Ubisoft is moving forward with AI and promoting that in their games. And you know what? I'm not necessarily against that. If it's a studio that I trust to use it in proper ways to assist them and put forward a good experience, I genuinely feel AI can be something very resourceful for developers. Ubisoft, nah, I don't really trust this at all. I said, today Ubisoft boldly asked the question, can gamers possibly hate us more? And I quote tweet Ubisoft, today we're unveiling Teammates, an AI-driven research project exploring how new tech can deepen the player experience. Read, find ways to analyze data to monetize and make more money off of the people that are playing our games. That's what I hear. More than just talk, this brand new experiment adds depth to gameplay by going beyond AI chatbots and turning NPCs into real teammates. Find out more at Ubisoft Teammates. Following the footsteps of Neo NPC, the advanced NPC experiment revealed at GDC 2024, Ubisoft has unveiled its first playable generative AI research project, which now explores how AI can be used to deepen the player experience through real-time voice commands and enhanced gameplay. With Ubisoft, I always raise an eyebrow of lack of trust. Dubbed Teammates, the playable experiment showcases the capabilities of in-game AI named Jasper, as well as AI-enhanced NPCs who accompany and support the player dynamically, generating real-time responses and actions based on player voice commands. I'm going to be honest, it sounds cool if it works right, but I think this is another one of those sounds cool things, but then in action, it misunderstands what you're saying, or the prompts don't align with what you're talking about, and it really, instead of drawing you into the action more, completely disconnects you from the entire experience. It's not going to be one of those first renditions works perfectly type things, but maybe eventually down the road someday in the future, it is potentially the future of games. The team behind the project aims to test the potential and limits of player interactions through natural speech, explore how generative AI can be used to enhance immersion, and test unique interactions that would not be possible without the technology. Like what? They go over the directors that are involved with it, using their insights, an experimental AI gaming project. First and foremost, Teammates is experimental. Players take on the role of a member of the resistance in a dystopian future, tasked with moving through an enemy base to locate 5 missing members of their team. In the short playable level, players must recover the final memories of those who were sent in previously to discover their fates, while fending off squads of enemies along their path. Besides the AI voice assistant Jaspar, the player is accompanied by 2 NPC squad members, Pablo and Sophia. Man, that is so Ubisoft. Pablo and Sophia, really? You can't do like Jonathan and Jennifer. Pablo and Sophia, really? Also featuring new advanced capabilities. Jasper, the AI voice assistant, designed to extend beyond the basic functions of one. It can highlight enemies or objects, provide story and lore details, alter game settings on the fly, or even pause the game. Yikes. That sounds kind of scary. All through simple and natural vocal instructions. But more than this, he is a dynamic and responsive character within the story. So it's basically like playing with Amazon Alexa. Alexa, shoot that guy. The same tech underpins the player's 2 NPC teammates, Sophia and Pablo. Just like Jasper, they can be commanded directly or chatted with. The only exception being Sophia and Pablo physically inhabit the world. Again, in theory, this sounds pretty cool. Not going to lie. In reality, I'd be very curious to test it out. I really would. The other problem that you run into with this kind of stuff too, and I don't know if they even think about this, but this kind of experience is terrible for the vast majority of game streamers, because game streamers want to interact with their chat. So how do you talk to NPCs while you're playing a game and talk to your chat without confusing what the game's doing? Unless you're just going to ignore your chat. It seems more like one of those, you can't really stream this game, and if you do, you can't really talk to your chat during it. So kind of like a not a community experience, more of a just a you're just one with the game playing with NPCs. So interesting. Why AI is core to the design of the experience. The goal the team hopes to achieve has players right at its heart. Narrative designer Virginie Mosser emphasizes the collaborative approach she has to work with the technology, both with players and with AI NPCs themselves. We hope players will feel like they're shaping the story themselves, not just following it. And again, I genuinely feel like this is the future of gaming, where AI does shape the game experience to be unique to you. I think that that's a really exciting future if done right. And we're definitely not there yet, but I know there's a lot of studios that are excited to jump into using AI because they are publicly traded and they know investors love hearing that word AI when they're talking about what they're selling, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be working properly, but eventually maybe. What's next for it? The team is dedicated to research and experimentation, pushing boundaries, blah, 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 blah. Teammates has already been shared with a few hundred players in a closed playtest, with their valuable feedback shaping the future of the team's research. They aim to continue the test and develop the technology, building the tools and gathering vital reactions and suggestions from players and creative teams within Ubisoft to refine and expand the systems they've built, all with the philosophy of human creativity, ingenuity, and curiosity at the heart of their work. They also plan to share more from the experience itself with an explainer video. So keep your eyes peeled to learn more about their work. I am not even joking when I say this. I'm genuinely interested in what this is like. I don't have faith in it being something that's going to be a fun experience coming from Ubisoft, but perhaps it could lay the foundational groundwork for other studios that you do trust with it to do something good with it. I like how the hidden one says Yves Guillemot can fuck right off. It's a hardcore wokey shinobi. Generative AI is as big a revolution for games as the Shift 3D, says Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot, as the tech is embraced company-wide. I don't necessarily disagree with him. I think that it is going to be the next leap in gaming from 3D to AI. I really do. I don't think people should be afraid of that. I think they should be afraid of the companies that wield the power of it. We're making great strides in applying Gen AI to high-value use cases that bring tangible benefits to our players and teams. It's as big of a revolution for our industry as the shift to 3D, and we have everything to lead on this front. AI use has already been integrated into every development team across all of Ubisoft's offices. Well, shit, that explains a lot, doesn't it? And this is more of it from GameFile. On the player's experience side, we're continuing to make progress on groundbreaking player-facing generative AI applications, building on our Neo NPC announcements in 2024. We've already advanced from prototyping to player reality, and we are looking forward to sharing more before the end of the year. On the production side, we now have teams in our studios and offices embracing this new technology and constantly exploring the new use cases in programming, art, and overall game quality. So don't be surprised with Ubisoft games being heavily reliant on AI moving forward in the future. And then the mystery game that goes on talking about that, again, it's Ubisoft, so I don't even get excited at this point. Kotaku in action. Ubisoft boss believes generative AI is as big a revolution for games as the shift to 3D, as tech is embraced company-wide. And it references the Eurogamer article talking about the very same things that I was. And it said, so far, publicly shown results of Ubisoft's venture in the wild world of generative AI resulted in a prototype version of the aforementioned Neo NPCs, which Eurogamer's own Chris Tapsell experienced firsthand. He described the tech as a tool that's been built first on the notion that if we build it, someone clever will surely come along and make use of it. I can't help but laugh because it's like, well, that goes to show that Ubisoft doesn't have talent. They're just implementing things that are already existing and then hoping that just something just magically happens with it. There's an argument to say that somewhat back to front, but the best tools are solutions to problems those clever people already have. Perhaps we'll see how this tech is actually used soon. Guillemot previously stated that generative AI was just another technology to be tested, but fast forward to the current era of AI bullishness, it appears he's gripped this AI tech with both hands. Even so, Ubisoft recently apologized to Anno 117 Pax Romana players for accidental inclusion of an AI loading screen in the release version of the game. Perhaps the AI-focused Ubisoft has some hurdles to overcome as it adopts this new technology. I I gotta tell you guys too, and we'll leave it with this. I think it's really funny that Ubisoft is pushing forward with AI in the face of not understanding what is accepted by the gamers and what is not, and fully ready to step on rakes and fall on their face the whole way through it because it's Ubisoft and they can't hurt their brand anymore. It's already been damaged and kicked and beaten to the ground already. So like, fuck it. I guess we'll just throw this AI shit into stuff and see what works. And who knows, by the way, I know there's going to be a lot of backlash and a lot of people hating on the idea that this is the future of gaming, but that's no different than when it went 3D. And I remember this because I am old man JT. When games started going to 3D, people were like, I don't want Mario to be 3D. Mario is a 2D platformer. Mario 64 comes out and people are like, this is a revolutionary platformer 3D game that sets the standard for what 3D platformer games will be in the future. Oh, everyone's mind changed on a dime there. Like, wow, funny how that works. I think all it takes is for someone to show a proof of concept of, oh, this is the future of gaming. I'm on board with this because I'd much rather play this than what we had before. Potentially. Not saying you can't go back to what we had before, because I'd argue I still like Super Mario World over Mario 64, but still, I enjoy and appreciate both of them. We'll see where it goes from here with Ubisoft, if they can even live long enough to see if the technology works for them at that point anyways. But for now, I'll leave that there.